I'm going to begin this video at the end instead of the beginning. I believe it'll be easier to understand. So this is the back of my Hymer Aktiv, and this is where I took this cabinet apart to do the electrical rewiring. So knowing how the cabinet came apart, I decided to tackle the cabinet that's under the Murphy bed. And the reason I did that is I wanted more storage inside the cabinet. So the way the cabinet used to be is the tire was right here on this location. I had a door, so only about, what, 5 or 6 inches. Then a tire, and then from this point was a solid wood wall. So there was no access to the space to the left of my hand. And so what I wanted to do was gain access to the space. I'd already modified the bed frame before so I could carry the tire inside. So this part is removable so I can get the tire out. But first step was removing that plywood wall and then cutting it out around the wheel well and pushing it all the way to the outside wall of the van. So once I did that, I came up with the bracket system to hold the tire against the wall, and then I had to move the plumbing. So you can see I have access to this is the cold water inlet, and it used to go down to the tank. Hard to see, but that's where the pipe was. So I had to move the pipes. That was one of the more difficult things. It wasn't really that difficult, but I didn't have the tools for it. So I relocated that pipe from the forward location to the back. So this goes to the water tank. And all the plumbing that you can't see here, but you'll see in the video, lined up so I could still reach it, even with the tire in the way. And in the end, I just removed this back swinging door is now gone. So instead of having this much space to the access, now I don't even know what that is. I'm gonna say 18 inches of open space in the back, and I can now fit my paddleboard, inflatable paddleboard in here. Back working another project in the van. I'm gonna try to get some more storage out of the driver's side cabinet in the rear. I've already modified this when I first bought the van so I could bring the spare inside. So, you know, cut this cabinet out and then cut this top open so it could roll in. Next project is trying to use the space between this board and the outside edge of the van. All of that is blocked off and you have no access. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the bedding material first, and then I'll start taking this cabinet apart. See a bunch of other screws that maybe come out next. Yeah, it's just barely held on. Good enough. Get an idea of the amount of space I can recover. So I don't know how well it'll show it, but there's a lot of room that they just worked around the wheel well. I'm gonna have to move some plumbing out of the way. There's a duct at the bottom. I'll have to change that as well. There's no screws on top, so I gotta go from underneath. And there's these little plastic covers. So take those off. And then I can work these screws. All right, I'm just gonna go down the whole edge inside. Corner. And these are all small, so number 1 Robertson, I guess. 5 screws on this end wall, 4 up top, 1 in the bottom. Not quite sure they do, but I'm gonna take them off anyway. Essentially, I'm taking out every screw I can get to. Okay, I'm gonna try to get these out. Okay, So there is one screw in the restroom. So let me get this one out. Let me undo the plumbing here. So take the handle off, then that valve will go back into the wood. Too hard to do it one-handed. Now with the screw out, I should be able to just pull the handle out, and then on this side, pull the valve back out of the wall. There we go. Yep, it was just screwed in. Yeah, it's out. It's loose. With that cabinet out, we get a better idea of the amount of space I have to work with. You can see based on the dust line where the old storage went. It went to here. So from here to the wall and up, that's all newfound space. This is a freshwater inlet, so I should be able to just take this off and then cut this pipe short. It goes down and then over into the tank. So I'm gonna have to remove these pipes around a little bit. Not sure how I'm gonna do that yet, but I'm going to. And this air duct from the heater, I'll go ahead and probably just shorten that up and not send it all the way to the back. So I'll heat the inside of the cabinet and let that send hot air into the rest of the van. This is the base of the bed. It comes out as one complete piece from the van, but looking at the construction. So it has this one sheet of plywood that goes up against the face of the bathroom, and it's held in place with some screws. And then it's boxed out to give it rigidity. And this is the back end of the van. So from this side, you get the best view. This is where the spare tire was, you can see from the mark. So this side gives you the best view of the space. This is the space I had to store, and all of this, minus the wheel well, is space I was missing out on. So my plan is I'm gonna unscrew everything, and I'm gonna move this board as far back as I can, and I'll notch out around the wheel well. So I'm gonna end up with that sheet of plywood somewhere along this face where it was over here on this face. So that should give me another, I don't know, 8-10 inches of storage minus the wheel well. Alright, top's off. I gotta get a small screwdriver, try to get to these. And these four right here. Oh, those are an angle. So I'll get those first. I found a little 1/4 inch wrench. It'll be slow, but it'll come out. So this thing should just start popping apart. I got the hammer out just in case. There we go. Should be able to just pull this up. There we go. I made some progress off camera. Ended up putting some of this sound deadening material on the wheel well. And then I've been working the water inlet where I'm centering up the valve to what will be the center of the tire that'll be on this wall. So now I'm coming over here, and this is PEX, 1/2 inch PEX. I'm coming over here and I'm going to end up putting some caulk around this 3/4 inch electrical conduit, push it through the floor, and then drop this and put this in place. The water inlet was over here. This is the water inlet to the tank, but that's right where the tire is going to sit. So I ended up having to move it out of the way. Last thing, which is hard to see because of the mess in here, is I do have that wall that'll go back over here, and it's already cut out to go around the wheel well. I'll put this paper towel in there so the inside doesn't fill up with caulk. I'm just going to spin it. Oh, I didn't show it, but I also sprayed the bottom where I drilled the hole with some Rust-Oleum to keep it from rusting on me. Okay. Time to test fit this wall. I have it just in front of the pipes on both sides. The spare is going to go against that wall. End up screwing this into this wall and into this wall over here. I'm going to put a T-nut, 3/8 inch, on the back side of that. I have this 3/8 inch all thread that I'm going to cut the length and make a handle for, and then it'll screw in, hold the wheel in place. T-nut's going to go on the back side, and I'll suck it through with a bolt and washer. All the plumbing fittings have been checked. There's no leaks, so it's time to put the wall on. Know that dimension. 28 5/8 to the seam. I'm going to get the plumbing fitting in first. Okay, I got all the pilot hose drilled. It's got some 3-inch long sheet metal screws, so I'm drilling into the frame. That's not going anywhere. I'll just put a couple washers and nuts on it. That was an angle iron that I cut, slotted. That's not going anywhere. That's tight. And I can reach in the middle and turn the water on and off. So that is city water, and that's sending water to the tank. Perfect. I put some pencil marks on the ground, so I had a pretty good idea where that would go. A top piece has already been cut out around the tire. And there were some pins in here, so this is already fits in place. I'm also adding this little board in the back, so I know that I'm going to need it to provide support from this side to that side. So I'll just put a vertical post here. Alright, going based on hole line up, so I can see this hole lined up right there, and as we can see, we're sitting on top of the tire with this bed frame. So I'm going to cut this bed frame here. I need to figure out a way to get the tire in and out. What I did last time is I added a couple clips on here so that this inboard would come off. And that provided me access to the tire. And maybe that's enough. I don't have to do anything different. So we'll see. Looking at the dimensions, I'm going to go ahead and cut this board just on this side, leave enough room so it doesn't tear out. I think I'll cut this board down the middle here so that it can shift over. And looking at it from the top, looks like about 1 3/4 inches that I need to move this board closer to the wall. put everything back in place. So this board is shifted over 1 3/4 inches, and it's screwed in. This board's screwed in, but it'll get a post underneath it. And it looks like this concept here for the removable board is going to be fine, because the gap here is even greater than the gap here, so I don't really need to worry about filling that in. I just need to lengthen this one board so it makes it all the way over to the edge. All right, got this vertical board put in. So let's cut it from one of the scraps from the project. So make sure now that the spare tire fits in. All right, put the bracket in over the bolt heads, washer, lock washer, nut, ×2. The top's reassembled. I sandwiched a few pieces of plywood to make this inboard, as the other one was too short. So everything's in place. Now what I want to do is add some stiffening, because this is got a little bit of flex to it. So I need to put some sort of brace in here to keep that stiff. And then I'm going to add, I don't know that it's necessary, but it'll make me feel better. I'm going to add under this top, I'm going to screw to the back wall a angle that'll screw into this 80/20, and this is just scrap from my shut van that I used to have. So I have these angles to screw in on both sides. I'm just using this whiteboard to make sure I'm getting the 80/20 flush with the bottom of the cabinet. I'm going to put the next one, I'm just going to split the difference between the two. 39, it's a little over 19. So that'll provide support mid-span for this bed frame. The whole bottom cabinet screwed in place. So now I need to get the rest of this Murphy bed reassembled. This side's always been really tight, so I'm gonna see if I can adjust it. So I was trying to adjust. The bed is assembled. I bent a piece of aluminum flat stock to help support this top. Then I added some Velcro straps on both sides. I'll show you in just a second. I'm going to hang my jack from up there so that's out of the way. Done. Another successful project in the books. Thanks for watching.